This video is brought to you by Big Al Lubricants. Big Al Lubricants. Go big. Go Big Al. Hey guys, Bob here. Got a little Magnum update for you. I believe this is update number 4. A lot of parts have been ordered and come in. So I'm putting brand new caliper, or brand new remanufactured calipers on the front of the car. They came with the car when I bought it, and new brake pads. And there's a little trick on the brake pads I'll show you guys later. This is going to be a street strip car. So some of these modifications are intended to help the car go quicker. And there is a little trick on the brake pads I can show you for getting off the line at the drag strip, just a tiny bit, fraction of a second quicker. Now, got brand new brake hoses here. Got these off of Rock Auto. And like I said, the calipers are still inside the car. I haven't put them on yet. And I'm going to do away with the power booster. And I meant to open up this hood. Let's see if we can do this. There's the calipers back here, by the way. And like I said, they came with the car. There's some brake pads. But doing away with the power brake booster. Let's open up the hood on this big boy. Now, you see it takes up an enormous amount of room. Now, this is going to be a street strip car. So it's going to have a cam in it. And it'll be better. I know a lot of these things. Why are you doing away with the power brake booster? You're going to need that to help stop it. Well, first of all, this thing's old. I don't even know if it works. It probably does, but get rid of some weight and also make some room. It'll give me a lot more room to work on the car, do things to the car. I'm going to try to keep the cruise control active. So what will happen, I bought this stuff. I bought the this is a Dodge Ram, like an 85 Ram master cylinder. It's supposed to be aluminum. Not so sure about that, but it's a 2-bolt. I don't know if you guys can see. But it's a 2-bolt. So you had to buy this at that. I got this from Rock Auto. Now Mancini Racing sells this conversion to go from a 4-bolt to a 2-bolt. So that'll hook right in there. And the 4-bolts hook right to the back of the firewall. You're going to need an adjustable brake rod. This thing's adjustable. I've done one of these before. Even though it's adjustable, I still had to cut it down some. I went on, even though the brake rod comes with a new rubber seal. There it is right there. I went on and ordered a second one because I found that in my past when I was doing others. The mocking up, you end up tearing that little rubber gasket or seal that goes into the back of the master cylinder. It keeps the rod from popping out. It goes right around this little edge right here. I don't know if you can see where it's kind of turned, turned down right there. What I had to do on the other one is I had to cut some of the thread off and re-thread it back up a ways to get the length of it. I wanted to pedal a bit the correct height and still go to the floor when I was on the brakes hard. Now disc brakes on the front will be better than 4-wheel drum brakes. It's not as good as power brakes, but again, it's a street strip car. It's not going to be a car that's going to be driven in rush hour traffic and stop and go traffic. Maybe occasionally, but when I'm in those situations, I'll know to be careful. Just like if I'm driving one of my classic drum brake cars, like my old 50 Studebaker, for example. You got to use your head. Now, when I did the Fury, I'm getting ready to show you, the power booster and the cast iron master cylinder was 18 pounds. So that's 18 pounds of weight forward of the firewall that I'll be losing, but I'll be adding a little bit with the other master cylinder. And there's also a little plate that I'm going to have to fabricate up. So let me go out to the shop and show you the Fury. Okay folks, this is my drag car Fury. This is a 77 Plymouth Fury. And I'm restoring this car. It's an old drag car. I bought it about 3 years ago. And I have had it on the track a few times, sorting out the bugs. Give you a little update. This is the motor. This is the original motor to the car. You got the VIN number on the block, matches the VIN number on the cowl, on the dash. Had an oil pump failure on it, so I'm building a 440 for it. That's what's right here. And I'm in the process of painting it a different color. Also, it's yellow and purple. which I probably should have kept because I've done one car before that was color change, and it was a pain in the ass, and I said I'll never do it again. But I had a sponsor deal, and he wanted a new color, so couldn't pass that up. So here's the master cylinder. This is actually a used one I took off of a truck in a junkyard, off of a mid-80s Ram. And you see it bolts up to that plate I was telling you about right here. And the plate bolts through the firewall and then I had to put this cover plate over it. I think the original hole was considerably bigger, so yeah, that worked out really well. That's what we're going to do. And of course, I used the adjustable push rod on it as well. And like I said, I also put a manual steering box on this car. That saved, I think, about another 18 pounds plus the parasitic loss of the power steering belt. So between the two, it was right around 36 pounds. Now you're going to be saying, well, this is a drag car. It is, and it's considerably lighter than that Magnum. This car here is right around 3,100 pounds. And it started out, it was over 4,000 when it left the factory. It's originally a big block car. It's just like the Magnum. It's a late B body with the spool mounts and I put the big heavy rubber bushings in it, the polyurethane bushings in the K-frame. You can see them right there. So yeah, I understand the street strip car. That Magnum, I'm gonna try to get some of the weight out of it. It'll still probably, with me in it, tip the scale around 3,800 pounds. Considerably heavier than this car, but like I said, when I'm driving on the road in traffic, I got enough sense to realize I don't quite have the braking. Also, what I did on this car, I put 10-inch drums on the back for rotating weight purposes. Car stops beautiful from 110 mile an hour and a quarter mile. She woes her right on down. And I didn't have to put any kind of adjustable brake bias or anything on it. I got a line lock on it so I can do my burnouts. This device here, and I'll add one of those to the Magnum also. I meant to buy one of those, by God, I forgot about that. I do need to get that. Shoot, forgot all about that. So yeah, this we'll have it all together here soon, and she'll be a little bit quicker as a result of it. And I think I don't know if I'm gonna do the aluminum box on the Magnum. I think I will. I've got 3 extra boxes. I'll probably put one on it. And that was actually an early B-body box, manual aluminum box. Fit like a glove. I had to grind on the pitman arm just a little bit, and it was wanting to hit the frame on this side. So, all right, folks, there you have. There's your update, Magnum update number 4.